Nets and what has become a relatively dysfunctional season for them. Many were left scratching their heads when the team parted ways with head coach Kenny Atkinson on Saturday. But a recent report says that Atkinson didn't want to coach KD and Kyrie together. It is also being reported, gentlemen, Kyrie would prefer Ty Lue as the team's next head coach. All right, a lot swirling around here. Stephen, what was your reaction?
These are your guys.
Kyrie and KD. It makes total sense. KD coming back next year, they're going to be a totally different team, totally different identity, and I didn't see this coach being the coach going forward. You have two guys, both NBA champions, both All-Stars, both some of the top players in this league, and the direction they're going, I can see them having a more experienced coach.
Frank Vogel, Frank Vogel came in and coached with LeBron and AD?
Mm-hmm. I think Frank Vogel, and I've been saying this for a while, Frank Vogel's the head coach, but...
Oh, but Jason Kidd
is really the head coach.
So in Brooklyn?
In my mind. Because if you come out the game and you have something dealing with the game, you're going to J. Kidd before Vogel. J. Kidd actually played, so I'm pretty sure.
But you saw what was happening in Brooklyn?
Yes.
Can we call this what it is? Kyrie didn't like him, so he's gone.
Nobody did, to be honest.
Oh, well, okay, by nobody, you might mean Kyrie and KD and DeAndre Jordan. The new guys might not have. Listen.
The young guys didn't have any room to complain.
Okay, yeah.
So that didn't mean they didn't like him.
Especially because they were developing.
Right.
Because the Nets,
he was playing them.
The Nets sold the culture above all else. And then, listen, this is the trade-off in the NBA. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but this is how it works. You can say we have this culture, we have this thing with the infrastructure we have built up. Unless you are the Spurs, that goes out the window the moment you bring in guys of Kevin Durant, and to a lesser extent, Kyrie Irving's caliber, and then your culture is whatever the hell they say it is. And they wanted DeAndre Jordan to start. They thought it was a big three. I think they have drastically, in their own minds, overstated where DeAndre is where he is in his career compared to Jared Allen, but whatever. Kenny Atkinson wouldn't bend on it. He's gone, and who started this weekend? DeAndre Jordan.
Smart.
It's okay, fine, you can say that, but I don't think it's fair that KD is getting lumped in on this. KD hasn't gone through a single practice with Kenny Atkinson, hadn't done a drill, hadn't played in a game. Kyrie has. And I think KD is leaning on Kyrie on what he feels on it, said, nah, this ain't the guy. So, and this idea that, well, he didn't want to be there anymore. He didn't want to be there anymore because he knew he wasn't going to be there anymore, and he didn't have buy-in from the only people that matters. So that's if you're the boss somewhere and you bring in new employees who have more power than you and you know you're getting fired in a few months anyway, then yeah, sure, let me have a few extra months off, fine. But this is the Nets saying whatever culture we have built doesn't matter anymore, and it's just about these guys. And by the way, that's fine. That has worked in NBA history before, but let's be honest about what it is. Kyrie didn't want him there anymore. He's not there anymore.
But can we trust Kyrie? Like, this has happened. Magic Johnson did it. Jordan did it to Doug Collins. LeBron did it to David Blatt.
Are you putting Kyrie lumping in with those guys?
Look, he got fired, and then Kyrie or something started to trend. And everyone's mad at Kyrie. Oh, culture killer Kyrie. It's like, no, what about like champion Kyrie? Like, this guy doesn't work. We're not going to get to a championship with him. Let's move on and get somebody else in. And I know like Ty Lue's name's been floated. I don't know how real it is, but people love Ty Lue. Like I've never heard a bad word about Ty Lue. So if they can get Ty Lue in and they also champion, and they win the championship, we'll be like, oh, but what about Kenny Atkinson's feelings?
Right, but it makes sense. But like you said, KD should be in this factor. This team ain't going nowhere without KD.
Agreed.
So his input should be more important just as anybody because he's going to be the best player on this team.
No, I agree entirely. My point is, I think KD's opinion on this is influenced greatly by Kyrie's because Kyrie's actually played in the games, been through all of it while KD's been there but not playing. So yeah, of course, KD. Listen, if KD says, I want Kenny, then Kenny's there. We all know this, right?
I guarantee you, but it's just not them. Trust me, it's a big decision from the people up top. They know that this coach wasn't. They can put it on Kyrie. They can say the players did it. The office people upstairs made this decision.
Because
Kyrie and KD didn't say you're fired. The people upstairs made the decision because they know going forward, his personality, he's not the guy for this team. Okay. If you want to win, you got to make a decision.
Listen, and I think Ty Lue's excellent. And I think Ty Lue would be a great hire for them. And I'm not saying this is the wrong thing. But with respect, Kyrie ain't Magic. He ain't LeBron. Come on. Like, the idea that Kyrie Irving has, I don't want to say earned the right. Kevin Durant can do
He's
this.
definitely earned the right.
Is it possible
LeBron don't have a championship if it wasn't for Kyrie.
And Kyrie's only even been on a team that won anything next to LeBron. Every other spot, it's been coach gone, and we're not any good. That's the fact of the matter. And so they are buying into a KD Kyrie-led culture. Okay.
You should.
Fine, but let's be honest about what it is.
Players play games. Coaches coach.
That's fine. But that's what it is.
Gotta take a break. Coming up, back to LeBron. You gotta wake up this morning feeling awfully good about yourself. On Thursday, you killed it with that TikTok video. On Friday, you beat Giannis and the Bucks. On Saturday, you beat Kawhi and the Clippers.
TikTok video.
Here's what his tall teammate Anthony Davis had to say about the Kang.
MVP. Good. MVP. Watch the last two games. I mean, what he's been able to do, taking on matchups defensively, leading the pack offensively, making the right plays. You don't see that from a guy who's 17 years in the league, and his team is number one in the West. So
He's on his last one.
He's continuing to show the world why he's the best. And I think if people don't understand that in the last two games, I think they understand now.
All right, guys, so on Friday, we all sat here and we said, is there a scenario whereby LeBron could actually pass Giannis for the MVP this weekend? They were going to go up and play against each other. Giannis seems to be running away with it. And you said if LeBron plays lights out and Giannis takes a huge step back, you can kind of see a path.
Yep.
Did that path get a little wider after what happened this weekend?
Yeah, listen, LeBron closed the gap immensely. I don't think he's ahead of him yet. I don't think LeBron is yet the MVP favorite, but what had to happen this weekend and what has had to happen post All-Star break has happened. Like at the All-Star break, Giannis was running away with it in my mind. The Bucks were on pace for 70 wins. Giannis on pace to set the all-time PER record. He's scoring as many points as he is averaging minutes per game. It's unbelievable stuff. Since then, the Lakers have lost once. LeBron hit a game winner against Boston. He outplayed Giannis, and when he guarded Giannis, Giannis was 2 for 8 from the field, and that was a game where Giannis's overall stat line is misleading because he scored 10 points instantly and then was 7 of 17 the rest of the way and really struggled. And then LeBron himself went 37, 8, and 8. And then LeBron followed it up with Kawhi, who reportedly, according to my pal Stephen A. Smith, months ago was saying to people around the league, why won't LeBron guard me? Tell him, why is he afraid to guard me? Well, LeBron guarded him. LeBron held Kawhi to an inefficient 27 points. I say inefficient even though it was 50% from the field because he created 0 other points with 0 assists. And LeBron did it on both ends of the court in both games. So if he was going to make this a race, the things that have to happen, the Lakers have to keep winning. The Bucks have to lose. They've lost now 3 of 4. Giannis has to take a step back. Unfortunately, injury is a part of that. Giannis now going to miss a little bit of time. And LeBron has to continue to put up crazy numbers. Post All-Star break, Kevin, 30, 8, and 10, 57% from the field.
30, 8, and 10.
Yep, that's his averages. And maybe most importantly, 78% from the free throw line. And all of a sudden, getting to the free throw line a ton.
78%.
Where it's 15 and 14 free throw attempts in the 2 games this weekend where he wasn't afraid to go to the basket. So I don't think he's ahead yet, but I think it's the closest it's been all year.
So I've got a story. That's why I wrote down the numbers. Stack and I were doing the jump 3 years ago, and one of our main storyline was Russ was going to be the first person to average a triple-double since Oscar Robertson. And I was on the phone with the league trying to get an interview, like a sit-down between Russ and Oscar Robertson, and we could never get it done. And I thought it would be amazing. It would be this historic thing. Russ wins MVP, first person to ever average a triple-double. Then the next year, Russ averages a triple-double, and Harden wins it. Then last year, Russ averages a triple-double, and Giannis wins it. But the narrative that year was Russ's. This was Russ's year. The number didn't really matter. So for all of these numbers, Giannis has them. But I think the narrative is LeBron's. I think LeBron has captured the narrative and captured like mind share of MVP, and that's why I think he should win MVP.
Well, I mean, and then too, to touch on your point, it's kind of like, how much better can Greek Freak get? Mm-hmm. Like, okay, you know he can work on his shooting, but I don't really see that get too much better. And he's more like of a
Well,
Shaq.
that's got to get better.
I don't know if it can.
Okay.
So who would you vote for?
I'm going for LeBron always.
Okay, you would.
I'm voting for LeBron too, but I'm saying that to say, Greek Freak wins. If he wins the MVP, it's more like a Shaq MVP, more of a you just been dominant. I think with LeBron, it's because he's the best back. He does everything great. That's why, and he went to the Lakers and.